How to be confident. Thank you so much for this question. Make sure you like this video and give me more questions. I'm getting so tired of saying that. Anyway, doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. I wouldn't have to say this if you just did your fucking job. Now, let's talk about confidence. There's two ways to think about it. Two types of confidence, I believe is probably a better phrase, seeing as that is the correct one. The first one, of course, is core confidence, and this is usually typified by guys with long hair that walk through life going, oh yeah man, I just feel like taking my shirt off at this party, why not? You're not a knob, are you? No, definitely not a knob. Those guys are core confident, right? Now, this is very brief, and then we'll go and delve into these later. The second one is situational confidence. This is just, I don't know, guess your HR manager at work. It's been there for 13 years, know this office like the back of my hand. It's pretty pathetic that human beings are sort of like cats of, this is my house, so snuggly. But that's sort of how human beings are. What you want to be moving towards in life is core confidence. But I will stress this point. Even people with core confidence have situational confidence. So I'll give you the example of when I first started doing stand-up. Not confident at all doing it, obviously. The human brain hates being in front of big crowds. I don't know why I started doing it in the first place now. I'm so lost and confused. I got early onset dementia. I shit myself. They, in that situation, right? So when I first started going up in the clubs, I can't even remember the first couple of times that I did stand-up. I remember the first time that I did character, which was what I've kind of morphed now, right? But I did character and that did really well. But the first few times that you do stand-up, because you're just yourself on stage, there's nothing more raw of an interaction than stand-up comedy, really, because it's kind of just personality, here's what I think. So there's nowhere to really go. It really is just kind of the picture them in their underwear, except for reverse. Everyone's just looking at you naked, but your soul naked. It's kind of got an opaque blue shape to it. So in that situation, you're obviously very nervous, but having done it over and over and over and over and over again, now when I walk on stage, I remember Dave Chappelle talking about this actually, when he said that I kind of see, an audience like my family, yo. That's how I feel about it now. It's because I've been in that situation 1,000 times. I know that as a result of somebody going, hey, that joke ain't funny, might have happened in, the Midwest 1800s America, but it doesn't happen anymore. Nothing happens. It's just kind of a nervous chuckle, you move on. That's it. That's what everyone's so scared about. It didn't get the exact amount of laughter that I thought it would get. Oh my God, I'd prefer to die. That's what the statistics show. People would prefer to die than go in front and die on stage. So, as a result of that, I have situational confidence in that field. How did I get to the point where I could even get on stage? Well, there was a big break between the first couple of times that I did it go, I'm never doing stand-up again. And then, 2 or 3 years passed, and what happened in that time is I read a bunch of self-help books and got core confidence. And as a result of getting core confidence, you know what happened when I started going up on stage a lot? You don't, do you? I don't know why you would. Anyway, the point is, unbelievable. So, I started going up on stage more, and the reason that I was able to do that is because I developed core confidence. So let's just talk about what core confidence is. Situational confidence, that just comes with experience. What you want to develop in life is what is known as core confidence. Have I said that enough? So what you need to get that is a reconfiguring of what confidence means. So you assume in your head that confidence is somebody who just walks up constantly with their shoulders back, standing up straight, walking through life. Yeah, how's it going, babe? They've got that kind of attitude to life. It's not really how core confidence kind of works. Core confidence kind of works from this field. It just means sort of being happy in every situation and being happy with how that situation is going to go regardless. So, I want to talk to you about another principle, if I may introduce 3. Have you got your notes? Well, if you don't, that's your loss. It's not like you could just rewind this. So, what you get is something called non-resistance. Now, non-resistance, I think, is a Buddhist term. Or maybe they use acceptance. I don't know, some of that Eastern shit. Now, they have this really good idea that is great in life, which is that whatever you're feeling at the moment, go into the feeling. Right? So if you are nervous at a party, just feel that nerve. so pathetic every time. He said, I didn't know how to talk to people. I think the next video is about exactly that. What do I say after hello? You suck, don't you? You need these videos. Go on, beg for them. Alright? So, in the situation, what you have is something that, alright, so what moves from non-resistance, what you should be focusing on, instead of just like that end result, which is the core confidence, right? What you should be focusing on is non-resistance in every situation that you're in. In every situation that you're in, just feel the emotion that you are currently feeling and ride the wave. Instead of trying to distract yourself, instead of trying to pump yourself up, which actually works, by the way, but what you want to be doing to get that overall feeling all the time in your body is to train yourself to think, whatever happens, I'm probably not going to die. It's going to be fine, right? At the very worst scenario, you are going to embarrass yourself. And you know what happens when you are experiencing non-resistance? First of all, you sort of just leave your body. It's like you kind of astral travel without looking at yourself. So just a shit version of astral traveling. You will sit there and you will observe yourself going, yeah, that didn't go down too well. I'm just gonna back away, not today, disco lady. And it sort of becomes funny. Because when you are experiencing something firsthand, that's what's known as a tragedy, right? Comedy is kind of that, you fell down. You're moving away. You are not experiencing it yourself. You're observing someone else doing it. And that's what non-resistance does. Sort of centers the mind back into this observational state as opposed to being there going, And what happens usually, this is the other idea that comes from Buddhism, which is that suffering is avoidable, pain is not. So pain is the feeling of going, oh, this is embarrassing, but the suffering is just thinking about it for years later, going, oh, how could I do that? No one else has ever done anything embarrassing except for me. Right? Okay? I want you to think about it in the terms of when you're talking about core confidence, it really comes, I think, from just having this experience while going through life of, all right, now this experience is happening. Here we go, you know? Just kind of observing it happen. And knowing that the more you are in that situation, the better you will get at it. It is a rare human being that keeps going, Most of us learn from the situation. This is why everybody will always say when it comes to any type of learning that it should just be, 1 hour of theoretical, 3 hours of practical. So, when you are in that situation, you should be, instead of thinking about how do I project myself as being extremely confident? No, what you should be doing is how do I authentically communicate? And that comes from non-resistance. Non-resistance is the idea that whatever you are saying, whatever you are doing, just allow it to happen. Take the brake off yourself, because that is how it feels, right? In your head, when you're in those situations, it's just this kind of like, it's like when you're learning to drive. How unconfident were you? Every example, it's like driving like a car. But, well, it is. It's just when you start driving and your parent is sitting there going, clutch, put in the clutch ticket. That happening, right? You are extremely nervous and you're stressed out, and you make a lot of mistakes as a result of being stressed out. It is like that little SpongeBob cartoon of Florette, okay, Florette, no, SpongeBob, no. That little slow motion of Mrs. Puff, oh, SpongeBob. You know what I'm talking about, season 2. So when you're driving, most of the mistakes that you're making when you are learning to drive is not actually you just not knowing what to do. A lot of it is the fact that you panic, and when you panic, you go into this mode, and then you go like a fish getting caught in a net, and then you make a bunch of stupid mistakes because you're not thinking clearly. Thinking clearly comes from the state of being relaxed. And how do you get relaxed very quickly? You get relaxed very quickly by practicing non-resistance or meditating, but you should just be doing that in your own time anyway. But non-resistance comes from the idea that in that situation, when you are facing your parent, 4 minutes left on the battery. When you're facing your parent just going, do it, dickhead, go! Kind of just observing it. Observing your parent yelling at you and going, okay, love that. Love being called a fucking moron. That is the best teaching strategy I've ever come across. And going through it like that. That is how you develop core confidence. Situational confidence just comes from doing something over and over again. But that core confidence, I think, comes from just accepting that whenever you start something, you're going to be bad at it, and enjoying that. Enjoying the process of moving towards situational confidence. As a result of doing that, you will get better and, ironically, move faster to situational confidence. If you start developing core confidence, just whatever happens, happens. Let the chips fall where they may. Alright, I've got to get out of here. Make sure you like the video and subscribe. And, just see, I'm getting nervous right now. Just, oh no, I'm down to 3 minutes. Forgot something I ask every week. Ask me more questions.